So the next step is now I've begun to start to get things ready to start my fire. I have a safe place in which I can get behind if I need to block wind while lighting the fire, and a place where I can, process my kindling, my tinder. I already have my pine boughs that I plan on using throughout the night to add light to my fire as well as needed to conserve any battery life on a flashlight, or just maybe I'm going to get too lazy and not want to wind up my wind-up flashlight. But I also have some other hardwood twigs. In general, I don't burn pine, especially around a tarp, but usually I don't. If I given an option, I'd rather not use any pine at all. But in wet conditions, it can definitely be a lifesaver, a game changer. So when you're doing your feather stick, obviously you want to, whatever stick you do the feathers on, it should be able to catch that stick on fire. So if you use a big stick, you better make a ton of feathers. I'm just going to make like little ribbons, just like that. And I'll stack a bunch of these up when the time comes. But I have a bunch of this maple here that I'll be doing this to. So the feather sticks will catch my pine, which will catch my hardwood smalls. And then it just goes on from there. I'll be adding more and more hardwood. I want to comment again on wood that pops. Basswood tends to pop. Sycamore, or not sycamore, sumac. If you ever throw sumac on a fire, that will pop as well quite a bit. And, pine pops, obviously. And then, like I said, or having that around a fire, or I'm sorry, around a tarp, especially if you're using any type of plastic tarp, sill nye tarp, things like that. You don't want to risk that. But seeing that I have an oilskin tarp here, it is resistant to some heat, if you will. Now, if possible, I like to only make things once. So I don't want to skimp out on any process of this fire to get it started here. I want to make as many of these as possible, and then I'll show you where I'm going to start this fire. Break that in there. Okay. So I'm going to make some big chunky shavings here on this. That can really help it start up. Start the stick that the feathers are attached to. Start getting some big pieces like that. Almost acts like going from tinder to kindling, so to speak. If you have an axe, use an axe to do it if your knife isn't up to it. So, I'm going to turn you around real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. I apologize for my high-tech camera gear. Okie dokie. Look at that. All right, so those are the couple feathers that I made. And this here is what I'm going to start my fire on. And this is going to prevent my fire from getting the heat sapped away from it from this cold, wet ground here. But I have this reflector here behind it. I do not want to get this too close to my reflector to start with, because these logs are bigger and they will also draw heat away from your young fire like this when you're just starting out. So I'll be back with more about this camp.